And now in the beginning, before I forget it, welcome back to a new reaction video on this channel here. And today, oh my god, this camera is so dark. I really need to fix that. This is way better here. I'm really sorry. Now I've like watched all over the place because I have two cameras mounted and the one's not really having a good frame. It's just way too dark. Anyway, so we've watched a video, normal everyday German things that really surprised me, from the lovely Antoinette Emily from New Zealand. Go check her channel out, leave a like, leave a subscribe for her. She's a New Zealander living somewhere in Germany. I'm not really sure where, where in Germany she lives. But yeah, there you go. Credit again, where credit is due. So we just give her a little subscribe, guys. Give her a little subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this video here. Oh my god, just give me a second. I gotta adjust all of this shit. Okay, so hi, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. And I'm back, part 3 of a German dude reacts to certain German videos. I hope you had fun viewing the last one. Yeah, so I think what I will do actually is I will just hop straight into a new video and we'll see where or wow. I'll just hop into a new video. Let's say German, no, German things, I guess. Some of this is, oh, there's why it's wobbly. Okay, I was just wondering, my keyboard was wobbling around. Normal, everyday German things that really surprised me. I actually think
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, it is so great to have you. I'm Antoinette, a New Zealander living in Germany. Recently, a few people have asked me, Antoinette, do you ever run out of ideas when it comes to talking about Germany? And I can honestly say that I never run out of ideas, and I don't think I ever will. I have got almost 10 years worth of Germany related content right here, and I love
10 years, oh my god. Wow. Okay, I'm a German and I don't even have 10 years worth of German related content. What the hell?
To talk about it, and I love that you guys enjoy listening to it. So with that being said, in this video today I am going to be talking about everyday regular German things that really surprised me when I first moved to Germany.
I'm actually really excited about this. Like, I couldn't think of many things that would surprise a New Zealand native or like American, because I personally don't think that our everyday routine is like this hugely different. A city is a city. It's there. They are basically not in the details, but basically all the same. So I'm really excited about this one.
No particular order, one of the things that I was very surprised about, almost shocked about, is the fact that the majority of Germans drive manual cars. And according to the research that I have done, it is about 90% of Germans that drive manual cars. Not 19%, 90%. This is something I found so surprising because around 90% of New Zealanders drive automatic cars.
Okay. But the thing is, with manual, I personally, so you can drive both, but if you are in the driving school and you like learning how to drive, when you learn or learn from the basics how to drive with an automatic car, I think you are actually not allowed to drive manually. I should have checked that up. Anyway, the benefits of a manual car are that you can drive way more environmentally friendly because you can like just not have any gear in and then just let the car roll for itself. Also, when you are buying a car and you want it to be automatic, I think, it'll cost you way more. Like an automatic car can probably cost up to like 2 to 3 thousand euros more when you're buying it. So that may be even a thing that is considered while buying a car. And the German, yeah, what is it called? The mentality. That's what I was looking for. The German mentality is that every car driver should be able to drive a car manually. Or manual cars. I don't know what you'll call them. Okay. But that's just a mentality thing. So you always get or told that you should do manually or manual cars. So I think that's why most Germans tend to drive them. Could be wrong, but that's at least my experience.
And so for somebody in New Zealand to drive a manual car, that is something really rare.
Okay, manual car. I'm sorry.
You do not see that every day. The subject of driving in Germany is something that is heavily on my mind at the moment because, as I've mentioned before, I'm in the process of doing my German driver's license, and I could
Okay.
save this for a whole video of its own. I will definitely be making a dedicated video on this subject, but for now I'm just going to be talking about the fact that I am learning to drive a manual car, and this is like nothing thing for
Probably
Germans.
true.
Like everyone in Germany learns to drive in a manual, but in New Zealand hardly anybody does. Why do so many Germans choose to drive manual cars over automatic cars? This was the question I asked myself. I was so confused by this because to me, logically, I think it's so much easier to drive an automatic car.
It is actually. I used to drive a manual car, but nowadays I'm driving a automatic car, and it is just like, okay, first off, when you're used to driving a manual car, you will always search for the little pedal to change the gear. That's not a thing when driving an automatic car. So when you're used to driving manual cars, you will always find yourself searching with your left foot for something to push, and there is nothing. So that is irritating to say the least. But after a while, you get that one out. So it took like maybe a week or something. Then that was I wouldn't find myself searching for any pedals anymore. So that was irritating at first, but it is way smoother to drive an automatic car. Like it's just you don't have to wiggle around so much. It's just easier. A smoother driving experience.
Everything's done for you, and you know, why add extra stress to your life and extra work when you don't really need to? I asked my husband this question because he's always driven.
But then again, like changing gears manually is not that big of a deal. Like it's not that hard. So it's not like adding extra stress to your regular day, I think.
A manual car, he's just used to it and he prefers to drive a manual. He said to me that for him driving an automatic is boring and it takes the fun out of driving.
Yeah, I can
and
see
he
that.
feels like when he's driving a manual, he has much more control of the car and he has just like a better feel for the car. And so that was his answer. I would love to hear some of your answers in the comment section. So guys, the next regular...
But the next thing I see that one with a feel, but I think after a while and after a while getting used to driving automatic cars, you'll get a feel for them as well. So that can be said for both ways.
Everyday German thing that really surprised me when I first came to Germany was the concept
Yeah.
of
I'm
winter
not getting blended
tires.
anymore.
I
That's
had never
better.
heard of this in my life before, winter tires. So in Germany, for safety reasons, it is absolutely mandatory to have winter tires on your car
Yes, it
during
is.
the winter months. So by law,
It
these
is.
tires in Germany have to have a minimum of 1.6 millimeters tread depth. So these tires, they're just thicker, they're better quality, you're less likely to slip in extreme weather conditions. This does make sense because in Germany it snows and there is a lot more extreme weather in wintertime compared to New Zealand. It just surprised me because I'd never really heard of the concept of winter tires. In New Zealand, they drive with just regular tires all year round. So these tires would be sort of the equivalent to the German everyday tires, not the winter tires. So I asked myself the
There are three types of tires, well, at least that I know of. The first is, like you said, the winter tire. You're not allowed to drive without one in the winter, so it is mandatory. And same goes in reverse. For summer month, you are not allowed to drive with a winter tire, but you need a summer tire. But there is also a thing in between, which are like all year tires. And they're actually called that in German too. So they are called like Alljahresreifen or Allwetterreifen. And you can use them through the whole year. So that is something that actually not most people, but I think it's the cheapest and the easiest one for you as a driver because you don't have to switch your tires around the year. And that is also comes with extra cost because you have to like store the tires somewhere, and the change of the tires, if you're not going to do that yourself, that's going to cost you also extra. So having a tire that will last you all year, and that is just cheaper. It's just a cheaper option.
question, why do Germans not drive all year round with winter tyres? That would definitely save them having to change their tyres over halfway through the year. And my husband Rob said to me that winter tyres in Germany are very expensive, and so you want to save on those tyres and only use them when you really have to use them, and the rest of the time you drive with your less expensive, regular tyres. So if you were caught driving without your winter tyres in Germany during the winter months, you will be fined between 40 and 80 euros. And also, if you are in an accident without your winter tyres during the winter months, then your insurance company will most likely not cover you. So it's very important.
Not most likely, but like definitely they will. With insurances, even if you have a good insurance, they will really switch up my cable for my microphone. Anyway, with insurance companies in Germany, that's also a thing. Like, while yes, most Germans are overinsured, and when something like this happens, you should get help from your insurance company, but they tend to always search for a way to not pay you. So let's be real, car accidents can be really expensive. You shouldn't drive so that you can get into one, but your insurance company, like she said, most likely will not pay when you are not having winter tires, because then they say, hey, that is your fault. You could have prevented the accident, or you could have your braking length, the length that your car takes to stop, could have been shortened if you were to use winter tires. So you should wear them, at least in the winter month. Or have the Alljahresreifen. Then they don't beg about that either.
That you drive with your winter tyres in Germany during the winter months. Okay, so moving on to a completely different subject. It surprised me when I first came to Germany, which is something that most Germans would think nothing of. It's just a regular everyday thing, and that is German shower heads. So the majority of shower heads in Germany are removable shower heads. So in Germany, the shower heads, they slip into like a little thing, and you can stand up and have your shower and the water is pouring over you, or you can grab the shower head and you can sort of wash yourself with the shower head. So you can actually take the shower head off the holder or whatever.
Isn't that like a normal shower head? Okay. Let's say, for example, in South Korea, they also have those shower heads. Like we do also have the fixed mounted ones in the ceiling. That is also a thing. And then you have like the bath tub and the shower separated. But the cheaper version to have both benefits, a shower and a bathtub, is just to have the shower head inside of your bathtub, and that's what most German households have, I think. Um, but there are just shower heads, so that is also a thing that you have just the shower head mounted in the ceiling, connected to your water tubing, so you can't just take them from their railing, I don't know, and like brush yourself wherever you want. So that also depends. But I think that's not just so German. I've been to South Korea and they had that as well. And I think in most places I've been, they had that. But I didn't even back an eye because that is like super dependent on the household you are at. Like I got those things you can take off, and it has like a little handle. So you basically, your shower head is a little handle that you can wobble around with. But my parents, for example, they don't have that. They just have a fixed shower in the ceiling.
Not explaining this very well. In New Zealand, the shower heads actually fix, so you can't grab them. They're not removable. I'm not saying that all shower heads are like this in New Zealand, but I personally have never seen a removable shower head in New Zealand. So that was something I was like, wow, I wasn't sure how I felt about it at the beginning. Now I don't know how I could live without a removable shower head. I love it. It's just
I don't really see the benefit, to be honest. Like I'd rather have the mounted in the ceiling ones. It's nice that you can just wash your head or just wash your legs and not get your hair wet or something. But I think you would mostly have the not fixed or not mounted ones. Like they are mounted in a little rating system on your wall, but you can like pick them up. I'd rather have the fixed ones because I think the other ones are just cheap versions that can fix in everywhere just so you can have a bathtub. So it's nice to have, but I don't know. I like the feeling of having a rain falling down on me, if you know, like a waterfall. That just feels so much better than having to like hold your handle here. Then I'm a big person. I'm like 1 meter 69 or something. Like this thing, this mounted this mounted shower head, it's like right here. Whenever I'm in the shower, I don't feel anything. It's just pouring on my head, and then from there on down. That is not nice. I want rain on me, rain down on me, and not this. No, I really don't like this. Also, who wants to sit in a shower and just then you have to aim where the water goes, and then while doing this you also have to wash yourself. No, this is not great. They are like they do have their benefits, but I'd rather stick with other ones.
so much easier to wash when it's removable. You just grab it and you can like wash under your arms, you can wash down here. When you're washing your hair, you can just like really get in there and the water's like right up, you know, in your hair, and it's like really good pressure, and I just love that. And whenever I go back home to New Zealand and I have a shower, I feel like the pressure's not very good and I just want to grab the shower head but I can't. And so that is something that was really like an unusual concept to me when I first came to Germany. I've grown to love it. If you're watching this and you're from a country other than New Zealand or Germany, does your country have removable or fixed shower heads? I'm really interested to know. Okay guys, so moving
I really think most of both, to be completely honest.
on to another subject, a completely different subject again. Now this is something that totally surprised me when I first came to Germany, and right now I probably see this on a daily basis in Germany. This is a regular everyday thing that you would see in Germany. You don't even blink an eyelid. This is the older generation in Germany, probably over the age of about 70, riding bicycles. And wow, I thought this was amazing when I first saw this in Germany. Like this was something you barely ever see in New Zealand, older people riding bicycles. And in Germany, they not only ride bicycles, they ride without helmets, and they go on long sort of bike treks. This is just something that is so normal in Germany, to see the older generation riding bicycles, and I think this is amazing. You know how the old saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it, and that is so, so true. I love to see the older generation just getting out there and being active and just enjoying life. And
Yeah, but that is also not okay. Most of those things are never can never be counted for every person, but that is the thing. But now with the e-bikes and the e-pedelecs and whatnot, so you have, I think you guys know those, like the electric motor supported bicycles. It's even easier for older generations or older people to like get a ride and have a bike tour and whatnot. So that is beneficial and it is good, and I really enjoy seeing older people do this. Um, don't get me wrong here, that is a good thing. I think you wouldn't see like that also like kind of depends where you are. I think the more not suburban or not the urban regions, you wouldn't see that happen all that often. But it is nice and it is neat to stay fit and stay in shape while you are in a certain age. So definitely go ahead and do that while you can. And if you don't use it, you lose it. That is certainly true. If you like don't use your body and you're not doing anything with it, then yeah, you will definitely feel rusty. And but from my experience, other countries have a healthier um, older generation. South Korea, they you went to a park and they were out there training, walking, talking to strangers. They were so fit. Then in Australia as well, they were all pretty happy. The Germans or the German old generation, from my experience, not from everyone I met, but the majority is suffering from their age. They have diseases or they have injuries. They visit the hospital on a regular basis. They don't feel well. They don't use their body well enough. Um, they're and that's not that great. They're not enjoying life in their fullest, while what they could do or should do, because they worked their whole life to get to a certain point where they don't have to work anymore and just get money from what they have earned so far, and then they're at an age where they can't really enjoy their lives anymore, and that is just sad to see. For me personally, I think other countries manage that way better.
you just see this so often in Germany, at least the area of Germany where I live. We have a lot of really nice bike tracks in our area of Germany that take you from town to town, village to village, city to city. And I think it is just a really great practical way to get around riding your bike.
Also, you should pay like the Netherlands a visit if you are into riding a bicycle. That's like next level shit what they got going on over there with the bicycles.
This is something I just love about Germany. The older generation, they just get out there on their bikes, they make a whole weekend of it. They'll go for big bike tours and groups, and they'll stop for like little picnics along the river, and it's just something that is really normal to see in Germany. And I remember when my mum was staying.
Honestly, not really. I can't remember. Like you see from time to time, you see older people riding bicycles, and that's not uncommon. But not like huge tours or huge groups. They exist certainly, but that is not something that is happening on a regular basis. It is it is not that hugely uncommon, I would say, but not something you'd see on a daily basis or you'd even accept expect expect to see.
Staying with us, she commented
Except for like two or a pair of the older generation whatnot taking a bike trip. Okay, that is something you even see in the city. That's not uncommon, but that's just like one or two riders, and then you wouldn't expect them to like take 13 kilometers trips. They are more often just like riding in the city, getting something to eat or shopping, and then they head back. So they just take the bike to get somewhere, which is normally not that immensely far away. Then they park their bike there, then they walk through the city, and then they head back.
About the fact that so many Germans, like older Germans, ride bikes, and I think that is so cool. And I hope that when I am like over 70 I will be active and riding my bike. I have even seen people over 80 riding bikes in Germany. How cool is that? So anyway guys, that's all I've got for today. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I would love you to consider subscribing to my channel.
Gonna go ahead and do that. Wabba-dabba-dub-dub. I'm sorry for the wabba-dabba-dub-dub. I don't know why I have to do this, but I just certainly have to. Anyway, I'm gonna leave a like here. And I'm gonna make a cut here, and I'm gonna skip back to the beginning. Comment down below your thoughts and whatnot, and have a great day. See you soon.